The Auditor-General's Report 2018 Series 3 tabled today revealed issues of ineffectiveness, weaknesses and non-compliance in managing programs, projects and activities. According to AG Datuk Nik Azman Nik Abdul Majid, for Series 3, 12 performance audits worth 742.5 billion were carried out involving programs and projects in 10 ministries. The audits involved the PM's office, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Housing and Local Government, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Industry, the Ministry of Works and the National Security Council. Among the reveals include several issues that needed to be addressed with the management of MRT1, such as repeated malfunctions and breakdowns that have yet to be resolved, although the defects liability period ended on January 14, 2020. It also came to light that delays in construction and the failure to collect late completion fines from developers are among the weaknesses found in the Putrajaya Malaysian Civil Servants Housing Project. The target of developing 8,980 PPAM houses had not been fully achieved as of April 30th, 2019, with only 4,447 houses or 49.5% built within 6 years of the program's launch date on April 18th, 2013. According to Nik Azman, to enable improvements be undertaken, the National Audit Department has presented 63 recommendations to ministries. Duopharma Biotech and Pharmaniaga Holdings will be undertaking the fill and finish processes for the COVID-19 vaccine once one has been developed. According to Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Khairi Jamaluddin Abu Bakar, the Prime Minister has agreed for the facilities of the two companies to be utilised for this purpose, noting that the main challenge for vaccine production is the finishing process. According to Khairi, the vaccine will be purchased from overseas, either from China, the US or the UK in bulk, before bottling it on home soil. This will ensure Malaysia would not need to entirely rely on other countries for the vaccine. Duopharma and Pharmaniaga were chosen as both are government-linked and both have unused capacity that could be directed towards this purpose. Duopharma is owned by PNB and Pharmaniaga is owned by Baustad Holdings. He says that Malaysia has been in discussion with the China government about the development of the vaccine and they have reached the clinical trial stage. Once the Ministry of Health is comfortable that the vaccine from China is safe, then the government can begin talking about bulk purchasing. Digi.com saw its second quarter net profit drop by 26.6% to 288 million as COVID-19 dragged on top line. Revenue for the quarter fell by 6.5% to 1.45 billion from 1.55 billion in the previous year's corresponding quarter. Digi says that mobile service revenue contracted 6.1% year-on-year due to weaker data monetization as a result of industry-wide free data and closure of physical channels. On the flip side, internet and digital revenue grew 8% year-on-year, largely supported by solid growth on overall internet usage and solutions for its increasing B2B base, among others. Despite the softer numbers, the telco still declared an interim tax-exempt dividend of 3.7 cents per share. For the first half, net profit dropped 15.5% to 620 million, while revenue declined 1.6% to 3.01 billion ringgit. Looking ahead, DG says that mobile subscriptions may continue to face headwinds given the evolving COVID-19 situation and its uncertain effect on the economy. The telco says its outlook had taken into account the expected pace of market recovery and growing industry competition. Consortium Transnational is expected to suffer a massive drop in revenue for 2020 due to the movement control order, which resulted in mass cancellations and passenger refunds. In a statement, Chairman and MD Tan Sri Dr. Muhammad Nazmi Saleh says that even after the travel restrictions were lifted, people remained wary, a trend that is expected to continue until the early part of 2021. It should be noted that KTB is classified as PN17. However, Muhammad Nazmi says KTB is optimistic the sector will be more robust with continued assistance from the federal government, which will enable the group to introduce new and innovative business initiatives. Separately, KTB's external auditor has pointed out a material uncertainty with regard to its financial statements for FY19, which could raise doubt over the group's ability to continue as a going concern. According to its auditor, the ability of KTB to continue is dependent on it obtaining support from its penultimate holding company and the land public Public Transport Agency and the outcome of its current reorganisation. Muhammad Nazmi says KTB will be submitting its regularisation plan to Bursa Malaysia in due course for approval. Malaysia's unemployment rate rose to 5.3% for May from 5% in April as the number of unemployed persons rose by 47,300 to 826,100 individuals. According to the Statistics Department's Chief Statistician, Datuk Sri Dr. Muhammad Uzair Mahidin, the monthly change of unemployed persons in May was very much lower than the change registered from March to April at 168,300. He says the reduction could be partly due to the implementation of numerous stimulus packages reaching its intended target, in addition to more businesses being allowed to open up. As the country goes into recovery mode, Muhammad Uzair says in the short term, the labour force situation in June is expected to improve slightly. He adds that in the medium term up to the second half, further progress is deemed possible.